Angeles, California. That's where we are for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he is out of bounds here on the return. First run now for Kyren Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain. Up to the 26. You talk about this Washington defense. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and they're just better than 50% of them at defending the pass, number 16 in the league.
So in prepping for this game, I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he'll get inside of Washington's 15 before being taken down. A big play there for L.A. 62 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They'll run for the first time with Antonio Gibson. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Stafford. That's out to the flat for Gibson. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed that went right into the game plan. Attack them early, see if they're going to play any better. And if not, you keep the pressure on them until things change.
Now receiver in motion left. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. That's to his running back. Complete. Touchdown. Antonio Gibson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Rams' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. first carry for Rachaad White. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. You talk about this Rams defense. And they come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Off the play fake, Daniels. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Rams are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. I know it appeared he was saying, hey, give me the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open.
True.
So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster for them.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's a gain of 13, first down Rams.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll go again with Gibson. And he is going to lose yardage here. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They'll try the air now with Stafford. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
I don't care what game it is. Everyone's always looking for an early advantage, an early break, and they almost had one there. That should have been an interception. Nice catch. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds.
And offensively lucky to have that one back. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Daniels looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 13 yards there and a Washington first. Throwing now is Daniels. He completes it right side to White. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
To throw is Daniels. He gets it to Thomas. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Here's Daniels. Completes it to Austin. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. They go play action. Daniels. His throw incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Play action. Now it's Daniels. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. A great effort there. 28 yards. And the Commanders are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. On the return, Marcus Jones from the end zone. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they mint? And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Quan Martin. And the Commanders are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain...
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Washington. Rashad White with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And Washington has taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Rams. Devontae Adams, 82 yards.
And the Rams are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
Byron Young
able to record his 5th sack of the season. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth.
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Forced out to his left. And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly there. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Aaron Siposs on to punt as he'll get this one away now. And deep to return it is Marcus Jones.
Fielded just inside the 30. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
A nice return that time of about 14 yards.
And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
And CD, sometimes you don't need those complicated game plans or the added wrinkles. Last time out, you think about it, couldn't have been any simpler. One play, one pass, touchdown.
I know those coaches put a lot of work into this game plan, but I don't think they mind possessions like that at all. They just save those calls for this possession instead. Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Back to throw, Stafford.
Throw right side, taken in by Gibson.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Play action. Stafford.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams.
Puka Nakua.
34 yards.
And the Rams will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room.
It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
And he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
And some space here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
91 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Touchdown, Washington!
Ben Sinnott,
his first touchdown on the year.
And the Commanders are an extra point away now from moving out in front.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will put them on top here in the third. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Oh, the return is Jones from the end zone.
And just shutting him off there.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
2nd and 10.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Back to the air, Stafford on 2nd down. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted.
Jeremy Chin picks it off.
And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Daniels now on 1st and 10. There's a short one pulled in by Simmons.
Oh, he bowls over him. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it's going to yield a new set of downs.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of down.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders.
A great play there. There to make the grab.
And the Commanders take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 8.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw is Stafford.
On Stafford for the 3rd time is intercepted. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. So that a real wrench thrown in now for this offense. They're trying to make a game of this in the 3rd quarter, but that is not going to help.
Yeah, partner, probably should have used a different tool on that play, right? That ultimately is the kind of play where you could lose a ball game instead of being in a position to win.
And he is out of bounds here on the return. The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He has still not connected on a single pass in this 2nd half.
And right now they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there and get their offense moving.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Stafford.
He'll check that down to Gibson out of the backfield.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Stafford will stay out there. He'll lead his guys up to go for it on 4th down. In motion right is Pittman. They snap it to Stafford. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Stafford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Here's 2nd and 10. Stafford throwing quickly, complete out wide. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To the air again, Stafford. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Rams 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
Pass complete there to Nakua. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. The Rams, they are on the move. They've got another 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Stafford on 1st down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Commanders are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Now a give up the middle. This is White. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Well, it's a 3rd and somewhat manageable now, not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
To the air goes Daniels. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Kirby Joseph.
That is the play they needed in a two-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute.
Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10.
At the 31-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10.
At the 44-yard line.
Pitching it out to Gibson. Down inside the 40.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On 2nd down, here's Gibson again.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
So from the 25, this is 2nd and 5.
Now a play fake and it's Stafford. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Quan Martin. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
2nd down, Daniels. And, oh, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And a fast footwork by White. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Working out of the gun, Daniels.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Rasul Douglas picks it, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, a 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either, throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
After the interception, here's Stafford. This one left side caught by Gibson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Commanders are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They stay on the ground with White. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here. Now Daniels. Steps away to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage in play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
That is caught. And he will have a Commander's 1st down, and that should just about do it.
It's a gain of 6, and that ought to just about do it. First down, here's White.
Bobby Brown on the tackle.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time, ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Washington, the victory moves them to 7-1 on the year.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Southern California, so long, everybody.